Another year, another BC1. Time flies. Anyway, this video, your man, Coach Sambo, is gonna take a close look at some of the most memorable and best moments of the Red Bull BC1 2022. Because that's basically what I do in this channel. I make breaking tutorials and a lot of random breaking content. And I just want to say that every single B-boy and B-girl was at a very, very high level. But I'm specifically just choosing the best of the best, most interesting moments to break down right here in this video. If I missed something, just add it in the comments. But I'm trying to keep this video short, so keep in mind if you want to see every single round, you just gotta watch the whole thing. Alright, so starting off with Alvin from the B-boy Top 16. He starts off this power combo with a very interesting use of freezes on both sides. And that's why it's important to train your freezes on both sides. See how he basically uses his tabletop freeze, and then basically his baby freeze or turtle freeze on both sides mixed in with his power moves. And this is something Alvin does a lot, which is really, really dope because it creates so much more variation and so much more possibilities within your power moves. Flares to air flare to invert 90 and then drops down beautifully into this backspin and then pops up another little tabletop freeze right there. And the good thing about Alvin is that, you know, he used to be like this real raw powerhead, but the last few years he's been moving around, he's been learning a lot basically, and he just became more all around, using a lot more footwork, flow. But what I've seen is that he really gained a lot in battle experience. And that's what traveling is gonna do with you, is when you travel a lot, you're gonna understand how battles work, and you're gonna find these secrets and these like cheat codes. So he just flows beautifully after that power move combo, and those little air swirls are really nice to watch. See how chill he transitions in between his footworks, all while looking at his opponent. Really good flow, and then kills it with the B kill, shaking the shoulders and hitting the one at the end. By the way, if you don't know what the one is, you definitely want to check out this video right here, where I basically break down musicality. Honestly, guys, you've never seen a video just like this. Watch this video right after watching this video right here. You won't regret it. Another something I wanted to squeeze in right here is this very short freeze combo from his second round, I think. All right, so he does this kind of backspin thing and he finishes up in the shoulder freeze, holds it for a while. It's not spectacular to hold that freeze, but what I want to point out is that he has the balls to hold that freeze for a while. Most people, while standing on a BC1 stage, they're just gonna be so stressed out, so rushed, that holding your freeze almost seems impossible. It's something you want to practice. You want to be able to hold these kind of things if the moment asks for it. But this is the dope part. Look at this freeze combo right here. Pops up to his elbow and then jumps to a tabletop on the other side. Now I just wanted to say that the execution on this is and again, pointing out that training your freezes on both sides will create the possibility for you to execute such freeze combos. So you might want to keep that in mind. Another sick round in the B-boy Top 16 is this guy, Isen. I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna see a lot of Isen in this video because, man, did he score points with your man, Coach Sambo. So the crazy thing about Isen is his speed, man. His speed and his explosiveness is just top notch. So he starts out with this like weird shaped windmill, then he's got those underarm threads. Just look at the speed, man. It's just crazy. Lands kind of sloppy, not gonna lie, but then doesn't let go of the wrist while continuing the whole combo. Finishes it up in this 2000. Nice and clean, nice and fast, Isen style. But it's not all power moves. Continues, drops down, catches the beat in those footwork.
Solid round so far.
And gradually moves on to a very clean ending. If there's something we can learn from Isen right here, is that speed really brings your combos to life. And then Isen's second round was also worth a mention. Very confusing and original go down. And then this is bananas, man. So he pushes himself up from a windmill with one hand and then swings his arm back and forth before throwing the Airflare. You have to keep in mind that he's doing it in a second round and he's doing it on the BC1 stage. So that means there's a lot of pressure involved. Beautiful transition out of the power moves. Continues and then just absolutely devours the headstand to air chair at the end. And I'm a big fan of people that hit hard endings, man, and that was absolutely a hard ending. Maybe a little bit short round, but the quality of what he does was just so high and it was just so clean that it deserves a spot in this video right here. All right, still in the top 16, we have Amir's second round. You know, it starts off with a very classic Amir execution, very unexpected things going on, a lot of twisted arms, twisted positions. You know, Amir just the way we know him. But then this jump to this one-handed baby freeze or air chair. See how he holds it that long in competition like that? Okay, it's not the hardest freeze ever, but that kind of control on a stage like BC1, you know, it's just worth a shout out, man. And then still in the top 16 16 B-boy bracket, we have Wild Child versus Lil Zoo. So we got Wild Child opening up, very explosive, twisting in all directions, spinning around, slipping and sliding, air track landing on his shoulder, super explosive, and then his signature that you might have seen online, circulating on social media. Inwards, kind of icy ice with a very, very explosive execution coming straight out of the 6-step. A little bit of a sloppy exit, but you gotta show love, man. That's a very original move by Wild Child, representing India. And this is a pretty dope bracket because Lil Zoo is actually the guy that has the answer. So Lil Zoo with the go down and the clean head invert, doing his thing, has a good flow, and then boom, right there, answers with almost the same move. Kind of has a different form, but as you can see, Lil Zoo hits it just a little bit cleaner, specifically at the end of the move. So he's basically saying, hey, I can do what you're doing, but I can do it better. There's no better way than making a judge's decision that easy by just doing exactly what your opponent did, but just doing it way better. And a very, very good source of motivation for you guys to just practice as much moves as you can and then observe your opponents and just do basically what they do, but do it your way and better. Hey, hope you're enjoying this video, by the way. Quick quiz question for you guys. Let's test your knowledge. Who was the first ever BC1 champ? You guessed it right.
Hopefully.
It was BBoy Omar from Jive Turkey.
Great job, guys.
But for you guys that did not guess the right answer, I'll actually add one of BBoy Omar's trailers right here in the description down below, so you can help yourself know your shit. Moving on with Weaguer, still in the top 16 bracket. Now, I added this round of Weaguer because number one, it's just so explosive. Number two, this kid is lit. He has just that flow, that craziness. Like, what was that? Let's play this in slow motion to see exactly what he did. So it kind of starts out with like some kind of power kick and then transitions into an inwards Airflare. That's right, they exist. If you want to know more about that kind of stuff, then I definitely recommend you to check out my Airflare Masterclass. Basically a 1-hour masterclass where I don't just explain you how to do an Airflare or give you tons of different exercises to learn your Airflare, but in this masterclass I also go into depth and show you how you can learn tons of different rare Airflare variations, such as an inwards Airflare. So from this inwards Airflare, he catches it on his elbow and gives it that kind of steeze and flow with the legs where he just continues gracefully into his footwork. But the explosiveness and the dynamic of how he executed this combo, just fire, man. Continues with the fire footwork. Woo! And it's crazy how he uses his arms and his whole body to just create more flow and more dynamic within his round. Basically, I just love the round. And a great combo of style, flavor, flow, but also difficulty. Maybe the round could have been a little bit longer. It is what it is. It's dope. Let's move on. So Weaguer is battling Yuki from Japan. I am definitely including this combo right here, which is a round off with a full twist and lands it on his tippy toes. Next up, we got Alexandrina from Italy, and this whole round was definitely worth a mention. First of all, look at that flavor and style. You know, she's just so free and wild when she's dancing, and sometimes we miss a little bit of that. She just goes a little bit crazy, and it works, and it looks dope. She's really feeling the music and feeling the moment, and that's something we have to do more during these big competitions. Good footwork, good direction, good flow, good character, combines it beautifully to these windmills. This might be maybe the lesser moment. It's like kind of a little reset in the top rock, so it looks like she's starting a new round. Heads on into the coin drops. If you don't know how to do coin drops, you can learn the coin drops in my coin drop tutorial. And then finishes off perfectly right in her opponent's face. Besides the little top rock reset, this was a perfect round. Well, it was executed the way it was supposed to be executed. Same for Sunny right here in this round. See how she enters the backflip, and then after the backflip, she just takes a little moment to take her stance and look at her opponent and have some fun. That is something that does not develop just like that. So when you're executing your blow-ups during your practice sessions, really think about taking a stance, feeling that music, basically vibing in the moment to give your rounds a little bit of a breather. Also, when people do this, you feel that they're enjoying the dance and the pressure of the competition is not getting to them. Let that happen to your opponent, not to you. Same right here. She does the go down, and again, Sunny with the go down takes her time when she gets down there. And keep watching because this is an interesting round. A little bit of footwork and then hits the back handspring foot tap and a head spin drill to a free super clean. Yo guys, that is hard stuff right there. And that asks for a lot of control. Adding a lot of good footwork in the right direction. Very clean, original move for a good ending. Not gonna lie, Sunny really killed it at the BC1 2022. Look at this, flare, 90, air flare, and look at that transition out of the air flare. Well combined to her footwork. Again, in her footwork's a lot of stances, you know, making her look experienced, making her look fresh. That reminds me, I do have a video on stances called The Secrets of the Stance. You might want to check that video out if you're just, if you're just getting into this breaking game. And we have the defending champ, Logistics. Very classic combo right here. Gets into the hollow back, very well controlled. And doesn't forget to do her top rocks after executing her blow up. Really taking her time, utilizing the stage. And this is why I really wanted to get this round in this video, is how she exits the 90. You see the small details, having her legs crossed or hooked during the 90. She keeps that and basically builds off that while exiting the 90. A lot of people do really sloppy transitions out of 90s. It was just super fresh, super clean, and well thought of. The next time you do your 90 in your rounds, make sure you think about how you get out of the 90. All right, back to Isen with the very explosive entry to a 90. Again, man, that speed is dangerous. All right, so all this craziness and all this speed, basically Isen just hits a one-handed air flare, lands it, and look at the creativity, man. After landing that one-handed air flare, threads, right? With his other arm in a very unexpected direction, but it flows perfectly. That's creativity, man. That's creativity. I haven't seen that ever. Good flow, going out of the move, continuing the combo, all good stuff. Could have used maybe like a little freeze at the end or something like that. Moving on, starts out slowly to give us the contrast with that speed. I like how he kind of mixes his power moves with like basic rolls and moves that kind of like travel around the stage. It's not just like pure power moves. That bridge tap again while traveling over the stage, landing it on his shoulder. How does he come up with that stuff, man? Man, this weird ass windmill. Look at that transition out of the windmill. You know, it's just well thought of. You know, a little hook on his foot, a little swirl. And then again, Amir, 90, goes down to windmill, and you might think he crashed, but that's just his style, right? And then just twists his body, very original in his positions and stuff like that. Like, you gotta have balls to do things like that, man, because most people try doing stuff like that. You know, most judges are just gonna look at it as trash or a crash. But he doesn't care, man. He just believes in his shit. And I think that's a valuable lesson we can all learn from Amir. And then he does a little bit of footwork and then the weird kind of arm twisty twist thing, which looks crazy, man. Really like how that looks, man. Kind of looks like a snake. A lot of original stuff right here. A lot of risky stuff. Gotta give him that respect for doing that. Then we have Lee representing the Ruggeds. This round was fire, man. Already that entry was absolutely bananas. And then the way he takes his time to enter his power moves, that's control. Traveling windmills, and then goes into this elbow spin, all twisted, and then hits the shoulder freeze to hit the handstand on beat. And he's not even done. Hits a couple of freezes after that as well. Yo, that go down, and then the content of the power move itself with the elbow glides, traveling windmills, and then the elbow spin with like the twisted hollow back banana kind of position, giving it a lot of flavor, a lot of style. And then the cherry on top, man, just hitting that freeze combo on beat. Man, that's some hard shit to beat, man. I just wanted to add Amir's ending, hitting an elbow air flare to this baby side freeze. Really clean. Just wanted to add it in this video for you guys, if you don't mind. Then for the last round of Lee versus Amir, I didn't really know what I saw until I watched it again while making this video. First, I thought he did like a rollback and then like a triple windmill. And I seen Damini from France do that move and one of these Russian kids. But when watching this move again, basically what it is, it's basically a 2.5 suicide air flare launched from his shoulder. So it's basically like a shoulder air flare 2.5. You know, completely crazy because number one, it's not on mats. Number two, it's round 3 of the battle and it's on the world stage. He doesn't even come close to crashing it. Jesus Christ. And next up we have the champ, B-Girl India. And this is just a very good example for putting a round together. First of all, when you look at the go down, it's a go down with a lot of content to it before actually building up into the power moves. A lot of people don't use go downs the right way. The result is a lack of information that just goes straight to the power moves. After executing her power moves, transitions into the footwork, all with a good form and a good direction. And then something that I saw that really catch my eye was this kind of like twist move right here. Very original. And then during the footwork, she also shows us enough foundation. Not too much, not too little, builds all the way up to her ending. Now the dope thing is that she didn't use a freeze for her ending. She did this kind of shoulder spin move with her knee on the floor and a foot grab, which kind of works as an ending. Next up in the semifinal is no one other than B-Girl 671 representing China, and just the way she executes her power moves, man, this is just such another caliber of power moves right here. Air flare 2000, windmill 2000, windmill 2000s, you know, she does it multiple times, really controlled, and then just flows into the shoulder freeze and does the beat catch with the legs. Really crazy, really dope. A little bit of a short round, but then this happened, and everybody just went nuts because they kind of did the same thing at the same time. And I heard the commentators say,
oh, she knew that did this happen and that.
So I'm hearing all kinds of different stories on what went on right here. Let me tell you something. I knew exactly what happened at that moment. Both B-girls didn't know squat of what the other B-girl was gonna do. 671 is basically just adding a little extra ending to her set, what consists out of a head flip and then a jump to an elbow freeze. Meanwhile, at the same time, B-girl India was just starting a new round that had a basic front roll, then connected to a back handspring swipe to 2000. Completely different combos, but out of coincidence just executed at the same time. And so people just lost their shit. But at the end of the day, I enjoy this because the crowd just goes wild. You know, let the people believe what they want to believe. Just as long as there's a good vibe and a good energy, your man Coach Sambo is happy. And then we have the champ, one of my favorite B-boys of all time, Mr. Vicious Vic. Well, he's not called Vicious Vic anymore for some reason, man. It's just Victor these days. Anyway, let's look at that round. Smooth go down with that one-handed UFO spin. Gets into the icy ice with this very original form. And then you think he's gonna crash, but basically just changes direction, doesn't backspin in the other direction, pushes himself up. So there's a lot of direction changes in there. And it might not be the most explosive combo ever, like that 2.5 shoulder suicide from Lee, but the quality of what is done is really high level. And after all of that, he just jumps into a court. So that means he's on a lot of different levels, a lot of different direction changes, you know, and as a judge, you're processing all this. And for the break, we have the Jabberwockies in the building for a little guest showcase. Those who know Luca with the air chairs and the hand hops and the headstands, and you know, it's really hard combo to do in a showcase, especially with the masks on and the heavy outfit and all that. So I just wanted to include that in this video really quick. Then we're back to Logan, aka Logistics, with this blow up to bridge right here. Very nice, very clean, head hollow back, head spin, and look at that super clean chair or air chair right there. I kind of also use this freeze, but the way she sticked that one was really on point. And then for the B-boy and the B-girl category, it was really weird because it was like 2 votes for India, 2 votes for Logan, and then we had the final decision was for India. And then exactly the same scenario for the B-boys. 2 votes for Lee, 2 votes for Victor. Victor takes the win, which is really, really dope. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then you might enjoy my last video that I uploaded, where I asked the best B-boys and B-girls on the planet what their advice is for the upcoming B-boys and B-girls, but all in one sentence. The link to the video is in the description down below. This is your man Coach Sambo, your online B-boy coach, and at the end of the day, my good friends, when you think about it, it's just all about that B-boy shit. Don't forget to subscribe, motherfucker.